Welcome to this YouTube channel. In this video we are going to talk about the things to do in Boston. So before starting this video, like this video, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for future updates. Boston's character is as complex and distinct as a Kennedy dialect, owing to its nearly 400-year history as a cultural center. The city's wharves reverberate with tea parties, its libraries with literary giants and its ballpark with broken curses. Its renowned colleges keep the old city youthful as the tides of over 150,000 students ebb and flow, and these smarties make the city vibrant 24 hours a day. All of this in addition to some of the greatest food and drink produced in New England's waterways and fields. The best things to do in Boston are scattered throughout its patchwork of squares, corners and crossings. Number 1. Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum. This is one of our favorite museums in Boston, in fact in the entire country. At once personal and grandiose, the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum draws on the huge art collection of its eponymous and eccentric founder, who possessed an insatiable appetite for travel, a bohemian lifestyle and ancient culture's finer indulgences. Within a Venetian-style palazzo with a beautiful courtyard, works by Botticelli, Raphael, Titian, and John Singer Sargent coexist with striking architectural aspects. Stewart Gardner gathered about 7,500 works of fine and decorative art, 2,700 books and manuscripts, and over 8,000 antique objects from around the world during her lifetime, including sculptures, furniture, textiles, metalwork and ceramics. In 2012, a new wing designed by Renzo Piano opened, providing multidisciplinary, multi-purpose space for modern artists, musicians and scholars. Number 2. Brattle Bookshop. Carts and racks of $1, $3, and $5 books line an alley off West Street in the center of Boston's downtown. The cellar is Brattle Bookshop, a 3-story used bookstore with a top level dedicated to rare rarities. Its proprietor Ken Gloss is a regular appraiser on PBS's Antiques Roadshow, and has earned some notoriety among antiques enthusiasts and public television addicts. The varied mix of personalities that frequent independent bookstores is as much a part of the experience as the books themselves. Brattle Bookshop is an institution for curmudgeonly regulars, bespectacled students and travelers who enjoy a good read. Even J.D. Salinger, the renowned reclusive author, came here once. Number 3. Seaport District. For good reason, Boston's Seaport is one of the city's most talked about areas. The former no-land man's just over the bridge from downtown has quickly transformed into a hub of innovation, mixed-use development and modern culture, attracting major corporations such as Amazon, big names in biotech, and major developers competing to build Boston's most expensive, skyscraping condos. The Institute of Contemporary Art, Legal Harborside, Wood Hills Pier 4, Flight Club, the Lookout Rooftop, and the Greek Med Hotspot Committee are just a few of the amazing companies that have followed. Number 4. Tat Bakery and Cafe. Looking for a one-of-a-kind fast casual dining experience in Boston? Keep a lookout for Tat, the city's most popular bakery and cafe. Its Parisian elegance complements the city's favorite French Israeli food. Stewart, or the founder, bakes in the French style with Middle Eastern ingredients, and she's introduced halva, za'atar and halloumi to Boston's foodies. Shakshuka comes in 3 flavors: traditional, lamb meatball with labneh, and summer veggie, and it's usually a hit. Salads combine leafy greens with rich dressings like tahini vinaigrette. Tat's first shop in Brookline opened more than a decade ago, and the company has since grown to 16 locations in the Boston area without sacrificing quality. Number 5. Museum of Fine Arts, Boston. By any metric, the MFA's large collection of art and artifacts is outstanding. The museum houses one of the best collections of Korean art outside of the Korean Peninsula, the only permanent exhibition space in the United States for ancient coins, one of the world's largest holdings of ancient Egyptian treasures, and a large comprehensive collection of work by John Singer Sargent. The museum's claims to fame are so numerous that you could spend hours cataloging them all. Whatever you see during your visit, don't miss the Claude Monet Gallery in the European wing, which was reinstalled in 2016 with one of the largest caches of the Impressionists' work outside of France, or the Impressive Arts of Islamic Cultures Gallery, which was developed in collaboration with local Muslim groups for its summer 2019 reinstallation. After all is said and done, the MFA is Boston's art scene's crown jewel. Number 6. Public Garden. Although many Bostonians pass by the Public Garden on their way from one side of town to the other, there is plenty to see and do in this city center oasis. The famous swan boats have been peddled for over a century in the lagoon, which runs almost the full length of the garden, and the flowers are beyond spectacular. The Commonwealth Avenue entry, with a statue of George Washington flanked by flowers outside the gate, is the park's most attractive entry. Remember, in this happy moment that Victorian Bostonians felt this park to be too light. What a difference a generation makes. Number 7. The Freedom Trail. The Freedom Trail begins at Boston Common, the country's oldest public park, and proceeds along a red brick road lined with 16 historic landmarks depicting Boston's revolutionary history. Although tourists flock to the 2.5-mile Freedom Trail, the pedestrian walkway also runs parallel to the city's day-to-day traffic. You'll walk among commuters and after-school youngsters, while seeing revolutionary sights in a modern context. If you're short on time, focus on the North End segment of the path, which features historic landmarks like the Paul Revere House, Old North Church, and Copp's Hill Burial Ground in Boston's Little Italy. Number 8. Charles River Esplanade. If you just have a day in Boston, take a walk up Massachusetts Avenue through Back Bay and back down the Esplanade, or cross the Harvard Bridge to Cambridge. Ironically, the Harvard Bridge ends at MIT between the Longfellow Bridge to the west and the Boston University Bridge to the east. It's a narrow paradise that stretches for several miles along both sides of the Charles River. The pathway or runway, if it's marathon training season, is lined with almost 1,500 trees, while playgrounds, ponds and gardens provide a poetic character to the meandering environment. Autumn is the greatest time to visit when the Esplanade is at its most colorful. The Hatch Shell is a performance facility that serves as the Esplanade's home base for everything, including the famed 4th of July concert by the Boston Pops. Number 9. Harvard Square. If you spend an afternoon or evening in this part of Cambridge, you'll feel as if you've discovered a new city. You don't have to be a student to appreciate the charms of this community. On Harvard's campus there are art and natural history museums, as well as unique gift shops like Black Ink and Grolier Poetry Bookshop, the country's oldest, founded in 1927, and world-class restaurants like Alden and Harlow and Waypoint. Tourists flock to Harvard Yard in droves. You should try to remain a while and go for a true stroll. Number 10. South End. This area has the kind of charm that will tempt you to relocate to Boston. There are numerous historic markers highlighting the neighborhood's rich history, as well as a plethora of small hidden art shops and design showrooms that will keep you coming back for more. On Sundays, art and design enthusiasts should definitely visit. The SoWA Vintage Market, SoWA Open Market and SoWA Farmers Market are all open at this time. There are also a variety of unique boutiques and design showrooms open 7 days a week. Finally, a journey to Boston for foodies would be incomplete without a stop here. For instance, Black Lamb, an elevated American brasserie with a sensational raw bar, and superb lobster rolls is a must-visit. Number 11. Arnold Arboretum of Harvard University. The Arnold Arboretum at Harvard University is a beautiful 281-acre green area in Boston, that is the oldest public arboretum in North America, about 1872, and the highlight of Frederick Law Olmsted's famous Emerald Necklace series of green space in the city. Trails zigzag past more than 16,000 accession plants, many of which are meticulously marked with placards. The natural beauty is a feast for the eyes, which can identify the incredible variety of trees and plants at every turn. The Arboretum's easy-to-use Expeditions app and QR-coded signs allow visitors to delve deeper into the environment. Number 12. Lookout Rooftop. Lookout, which has earned a well-deserved reputation as Boston's greatest rooftop bar, is frequently packed with the city's work hard, play hard young professional population. Reservations are required these days, no walk-ins. Lookout isn't a novelty for most people, it's a weekend staple, though you might see a few bridge and tunnel types later in the day. The crowd appreciates a good cocktail, but they've come for the vistas and the lively environment. The Lookout Rooftop provides big city appeal with a cool clientele, fantastic skyline views, and powerful drinks in a place that skews historic and can sometimes feel like a college town. It's a location where you can hang out with your pals and have a little alcoholic fun. What do you think about this video? Do let us know down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.